Yo, everybody, what's up? This is a as fly by the seat of your pants perch as you've ever seen me. Like, what in the world? It's all happening. Hello. Oh, you. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I got that. It's sitting right here on the doorstep. Come on, bud. Yeah, I'll tell you in a minute. I'm live right now. Just, I was supposed to answer the banana. I never. I am pretty though. I decided. Look at this face. Only a mother could love, right? Taco Tuesday. No, I had some hamburger cheeseburger pizza today, Joey. I forgot all about Taco Tuesday. Maybe next time here on the prairie. It's been I'm not gonna just waste time with you guys. My reel's ready. I got some coffee brewing. Good times here. We got Jen and we got Operation GCD coming hopefully. I kind of ambushed him again on the live as I did with you guys, but I appreciate you being here. We're doing the wait, who's after me tonight? Somebody's after me tonight. They're all out to get me. I don't know. But yeah, there certainly is a lot to look at. I want to look at Christy's video. I want to look at some other things. I don't know if they did that on AR's show. Or not. I guess I should turn the AC on. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, okay, so you guys know I depend on my car for everything. And so what happened was the other day, yesterday, I was out, well, the day before that, I was out driving in the floodwaters of Madeira Beach. And I'm talking about it was ankle high. And so I hit a couple puddles pretty much at a good rate. And I like slowed down just in time before it got my points wet or anything. And the car didn't stall, but something must have happened. And the next day, I was driving and I went to excuse me, a little shiny today. The I stopped at this apartment complex on my first delivery, and I usually leave the window open so there's on the other side, just in case I need to reach my arm in there and open it because you don't want just not making any rookie mistakes. And so unfortunately, I left the AC on. Ann Taylor. This is Ann Taylor Loft. Welcome in everyone. This is all of the designs for Megs. To the glitter cave, dear. To the glitter cave. And so anyway, yeah, I I stopped at this apartment and it's a third floor one, so I go and I left the AC on not recirculate, and so it's window open, AC blowing, motor not running really. I mean, it was running, but anyway, so I get in the car, get back in the car after going to the third floor, delivery, boom, come back down, and I'm driving, and I'm like, okay, put the recirculate on. It's 90 million degrees here in Florida, and so it's not getting cold. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's like Rockford's thing, because his AC broke the other day, and it was frozen over, and all he had to do was let it de-ice. And so I drove for about 5 minutes, turned it back on, and while I was driving, it got cold. I was like, okay. And then when I slowed down, though, you felt it get warm. And so I stopped at Steak and Shake to wait for another order, and there's this big display thing. It says, your car has overheated. So I turned it off, waited 20 minutes, drove home, and then today took it over to my buddy Rockford's son, and he's a mechanic, and decided to flush the radiator fluid, and I'm going to change the thermostat because he thought it might be stuck open. So that is where we are on that. Hopefully it doesn't go any further. It was about a quart low of oil, and I just had that changed, so that's another worry. I don't know. Something got wet when it was hot, and it didn't like it. So there was a little bit of water out of the radiator. It was a little low, so we just handled that. Hopefully from here on out it'll be okay. And that's what I've been going through. How are you, you good looking people? It is nice to see you. I'm KB. I'll be the host today. If you're new to The Purge, remember, I'm here to take care of every single one of you. Mimi's out for the rest of the week. I don't know if she'll bite when she gets back. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Oh, Tony's here. And yeah, he ain't talking to you guys today. All right, so Twiz watching, and actually is I always have to make sure. I think Twiz is getting a taste of the dementia he's headed for. All those video games that he plays. I got to remind him of everything. It's like every 3 hours. I got to remember remind him to eat, remind him to do his Rubik's cube. You know, it's not easy. Twiz. All right, let's check in on the reel and see what's going on, man. No. Let's see here. Let me do things, do stuff. And the reel is ready, my friends. How do you like that? Yeah, come in, be careful. It's right there. Right under the pillow. Okay. There's my friend Brian. Say hi, Brian.
Hello. Well,
All right, get out of here with your cigarette.
yeah, all right. I'm out of here with my cigarette. Where's your car?
I'll tell you later.
All right.
Bye. Jeez. All right, just kidding. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, the thing and all the things. Do the thing. I'm telling you, is the fly by the seat. But we got so much. Come on, this is the purge. We're purging right now. And this. I was gonna do a not Kane piece of purge. I might do a late night one tonight. I meant to. Where is it? This is it. I meant to tag Chelsea Whitaker if anyone wants to find her. I guess I could just go back and tag her while this runs. I would appreciate it. Amy Conway, good to see you, Sleepy Sweetheart. Angel D, I was trying to tag you. I couldn't find you in there. Joey, welcome in. Good to see you, Mr. Coffee. Rowie, love Tina. Oh, man, all my faves are here. Wow, look at this chat already. I don't even know what's going on. Moving. All right, let's get this underway. I got a little something. I didn't look at the temp gauge, Twiz. I usually do, but it's usually just stuck in the same spot. So for some reason, I just didn't think about it. And what was happening today is we let it cool down, and then it would go right to temp. So we were thinking, that's not true. You know, you're the only one I simp for. Miss Angel D. I love me some Australian English meat. Last 24, sir. Welcome in. Always a pleasure. Nice to see you. Doing some great work. Woke up 1984. I didn't say hello. Hello, Twiz. You dirty, rotten bastard. I love how. Hi, Suzanne, if you're here. I hope you're here. Hopefully. Yeah, Miss Potts was ragging on. I got sticky mouth. I didn't get a chance to brush my teeth. I have bad breath right now, by the way. Just letting you know. Probably. I have banana breath. Hello. And, anywho, Spurge, we're going to see here. This, give it a minute. And welcome to the Magic Show, my friends. Let's get it started right here. And if you're new to the Perch, please hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to click that like. I know you guys are here and you're doing stuff. It's got Metal Leg. Hello. And I appreciate that. But if you don't mind hitting that gas pump emoji for me, I appreciate that. Do that and keep it real up in here. And we will get right to it as soon as I know what the hell is going on. Why? How can you see me right now? It's so weird. Oh. There you go. And one more thing. Alright. Let's get right to it, boss.
It's not your way. Say it. Xin chào from my duet guys.
Big scary Jeff and Shalia. Woo! We're gonna come and eat your children.
Just did that.
What's the pan for?
Yep. Good. Always good.
You want my salmon?
Oops. I don't know what that audio was, damn. Oops. There goes the chat replay. Unfortunately, 3 people did lose their lives in this. I didn't realize there was music playing behind this. If it is music, I don't know what it is. Oh, wait, hold on. Now I'm really behind. I'm telling you, I'm running by the seat of my pants.
Lovin', yo, killed it in Superbad, man.
Says McLovin.
Killed it. Fucking McLovin in the house. McLovin's
Michael
in the
Cera's
house.
like, who is this clown?
Yo, you know what else is good? That shit you did, Napoleon Dynamite? Yeah. That was good too, man. It's my guy here.
That's. Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Come here. Come here. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Not very funny. Can you please?
No, it's okay. No, wait 1 second. What's so funny about that? It's ridiculous. Do you like making less of people? Is that what Is that you like doing mean things to people? That's really. Hey, no. Don't run away. Don't run away. No, let me have it. I don't care. That's incredibly rude. I'm here giving you an interview and answering your questions, and you do something really nasty. You're a jerk.
You're a jerk, Todd. The mini kibble and balls. Clunk everybody's feet.
Damn! Oh, shit! Oh, my God! Bro, what the fuck? Bro, what the fuck going on? Hell, they tweaking. He damn near dead.
Happened to Giovanni Pelletier after getting into the car with his cousins in Florida. Retired FBI Special Agent Frank Brostrom says knowing where he was supposed to be going gives investigators an easy place to start.
Normally in these investigations, somebody disappears. You have no lead. You don't know who was with them last. You don't know where they were last. And you're kind of starting from scratch.
Since the cousins Gio was with already spoke with investigators, any evidence they find will give them a chance to compare that with what they claim happened.
They're going to do phone work on everybody involved. They're going to interview witnesses. They're just going to lay out and do the whole Monty, lay out the whole Monty on this and they've got some great leads.
Yesterday, ABC 11 speaking with Gio's stepdad, Jeremy Brown, who says while they were a little skeptical of Gio going with the cousins he hadn't met, Gio was excited to spend time with them.
We have our reservations, but we trust you. You know, we trust that you're going to look out for yourself. We trust you're going to be safe.
That is until that ominous text 20 minutes after he left, asking for help.
back.
Gio's stepdad shocked. He was told Gio was left somewhere.
Someone.
What kind of family are you when you're going to leave your cousin on the side of the road?
But law enforcement experts say that part of the story from his cousins about Gio's alleged erratic behavior isn't adding up.
Adding this part about he was acting strange and pulled a knife on us,
And
then he's the one texting help, I need help. That story's not going to stand up.
It's like the Tootsie Roll tortoise. SPG up in here. I gotta tag Chelsea with him. Anybody else knows her contact with her?
We did what we had to do. They counted on America to be passive. They were all so fucking
People are so fucking weird, too. They like dress up as him.
Yo, KB, is that the name you claim? Rolling through genres, let me play this game. Rap like a madman, Eminem with the slang, spitting bars so sharp like a rap hangman. From YouTube fame to Idaho's wild ride, you're breaking it down, putting truths aside. Kane B got the purge, no doubt he's the king, breaking down the case like a YouTube machine. Kane B the purge, bringing heat in the booth. Facts on the table, there's no room for proof. Throwing down while the world's watching, is it guilty or free? That's the question we're knocking. Kane B the find the truth or just disappear in the air. Here's my bubblegum pop, you ready or not? Kane B's in the mix with the case so hot. Rap, rock, pop, he's switching it up. Dancing through the genres like a YouTube cup. Got Kane B, the purge, putting the story in flow. Breaking it down with humor, watch the case blow. Boom, Kane B's riding with electric groove. Breaking it down, yeah, he's on the move. He's got the purge, so come and watch him reign. Sipping on knowledge like it's truth on a train.
Hi, Don and Salamander. Welcome in, everybody. One more reading Canebo for Mogs.
It's such a wing. Say since Selfie brought my duet self-rights.
All right, you know what time it is. All the things. Let me tag, while we're at it, let's tag Chelsea Whitaker and get her open. I forgot to tag her. Dag nabbit diblets. Let's see here. Good, you can't see it. All right. I'm going to start with that. YouTube just doesn't want to stop. Ever. Spurts. I can't say without saying is it Spurge. What is going on? Mary Holt, very nice to see you today, my dear. Let's see. Here we go, 22. And it's all about you. Yep. Tag Chelsea real quick. And it's all. I know I forgot somebody. I always forget. I'm sorry. I forget the algorithm forgets your real names or whatever. So we'll get her in here. I'm sorry about that. Nothing. Welcome in, my dear. Always a fun time to see you, love. All right, and okay. All right, so it is. Oh, shit. See, I told you I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I wouldn't be surprised if I hit end broadcast like I did last week. It's here. Okay, get this going. Okay, really. Okay. Oh, camera down. Camera down. You got the camera down. I'll get this on. Oh no! I unplugged it. Yeah, my computer wasn't working, and that was a panic fest right there. And then I have about an inch of water on my floor right now. Don't tell anybody, but you might be able to see it where you are. Hi. Let's see here. Gotta get something going for this. It's gotta be consistent. People like consistency. So Twiz says, I don't know what that means, but anyway. That's how I do it. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, camera down. We got a Piper down. Alright, we can do this. Hopefully you didn't see anything weird. Okay. It's all good. What's up? Just for all that. Just to go. It's time. For you. It's Kane's world. Kane's world. It's party time. It's excellent. It's Kane's news. Time for news. See you do that in your silly little fiddle there, Chelsea Whitaker. Nice to have you in. We're eating diabetic snacks today. I don't know if I said hi to Donna Salamander. Or hi, Donna Salamander. Darn good to tootin'. And see, my face looks really long when I eat these things. Get it together, game. All right. Here we go. Back at it. And time for music. So, you guys saw this probably article, and I decided on this channel, at least City Basic, to honor that, just because we've looked at them in other channels and stuff, but you asked for it, you got it. I wouldn't want to see it everywhere you go either. Okay, and whatever your opinion is, there, it's, you know, the honorable thing to do. What do you say? So I can't get out of this. Yep. Okay. Well, show's over. Thanks for coming, guys. That was nice to have you. I appreciate it. Don't forget to tip your waitress on the way out. There we go. Okay. And it appears that I'm going surfing. And this looks like I am going surfing on whenever it gets to here. Probably right about here. So you look at the swell angle. Boom. And then I live here. It's about a 200-mile drive across the state. It'll be a good test of my new thermostat and my radiator and all that. And hopefully my tires will hold out. It's a good drive. But we're going to get some surf, so I'm going to go to Wabasso. And yes, of course, I will film it all. Hopefully I can get somebody to go with me. And, yeah, it's going to be good times over there. I'll probably try to get Rockford to roll over there with me and take some footage. The beauty of Wabasso is it breaks right on the shore. So he doesn't really have to zoom in much. But I don't know. I might just go on my own. Either way, finally some surf. You gonna see this board, Fran? That's some expert. So that's happening. All right. And then, I don't know why it keeps doing this. And next story for you folks. I didn't know. I guess I probably read articles about this in recent times, but the headline is somewhere they want you to look at ads, not the headlines. Something about the immigration. Why do they do this? Let me try this here. Immigration situation. So, when it comes to the United States immigration policy, we're beginning to see how bad things can get. A story this week by the Idaho statesman Carolyn and Customs Enforcement are upping their game in Idaho, smashing a Meridian man's car window to detain him. At the same time, Idaho State Police have signed an agreement with ICE to join a task force model which uses racial profiling to let local police question people on the street about their immigration status. According to another Idaho statesman story, Idaho officers now have the power to interrogate anyone believed to be an immigrant, to arrest immigrants under certain conditions, and to transport immigrants to detention facilities, according to the statesman's story. Civil rights organizations surrounding the alarm over ICE's obvious violations of constitutional rights, including the U.S. citizens getting caught up in mass street arrests, deportations, inhumane conditions for immigrants in federal prisons, and unconstitutional raids. Not to mention deporting detainees without proper adjudication as to whether they are in the country without legal authorization to foreign countries, including a brutal torture prison in El Salvador, and then out there. So I have more on that in a second. We'll get to it. Teen randomly unalived Uber driver to let off some steam before driving the stolen car to his girlfriend's house, cops say. And I don't know, anyway, I just thought it was odd that the Koberger video just started playing when I was reading this article. A teenager allegedly told authorities in New Mexico, I keep warning you folks, stay out of New Mexico. I don't even think I have one viewer in New Mexico. If you're in New Mexico, you let me know right now. My brother was born. Well, my brother was born in Tyler, Texas, but my family, they moved before I was born to what's that city in New Mexico with the aliens? Quiznos. And she's like, my mom's like, we never even heard anything about these aliens crash back then. And it was right around the, me and Twiz are going to build a tiny house adjacent to Swamp Rose's pool. Why am I? It's so weird. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so hold on. Gosh, dog, dig it. See if I can win this round of Chelsea poker. I even give her a heads up. I bet you I win. Did I win? Yep, fully nailed it. All right, let's see here. Now it's in my way. Dog nabbit. Sorry. A teenager allegedly told authorities in New Mexico that he unalived an Uber driver to let off some steam. And I better open this so JJ can join us at his leisure if he chooses to do so today. Hopefully Christy Nevada will also be joining us here in a little moment or two. She's on some other show with some guy. Oh, you never heard of him. Wink, wink, wink. Let's see here. Yeah, I did do that, didn't I? Okay. There we go. Sheila Sanchez, 18, has been charged with Shaliki Sanchez has been charged with unaliving armed robbery and tampering with evidence after the execution-style shooting of Joseph Andres around 3 a.m. Friday. And I'm telling you, at night even the deliveries, you start getting some weird stuff. People trying to pull the stuff over. Police said Sanchez asked his girlfriend to order him an Uber Thursday night because his friend has a car for him and he's going to get it. Sanchez claimed to authorities he looked at available Uber drivers and picked the one he wanted. He said that he and Andres had a long conversation during the drive and that Andres was actually really cool, he told police. Once they got to the drop-off location, police said Sanchez ordered Andres out of the car and pew-pewed him several times. And the driver lost his life, Albuquerque police said. The teen reportedly admitted to authorities that he did it because it was just part of letting off some steam. Sanchez told detectives that while he watched Andres go past, he felt bad for him a little bit. But just getting that satisfaction out of the way, it's like a relief. Like taking an in and out breath, the doc said. The teen stole Andres' car, which was later found at Sanchez's girlfriend's house. I mean, this guy is just a criminal genius, mastermind. When police arrived at the home, Sanchez told them he had never taken an Uber ride and said his friends always drove him places. Police said that when he was asked if he knew why his girlfriend had ordered an Uber, he told them no, according to the Journal. Detectives told Sanchez that the car outside his girlfriend's house was owned by an Uber driver. Sanchez then claimed that he had paid for the vehicle in cash, according to the complaint. When confronted by police about his confusing stories, Sanchez reportedly admitted to it. The teen couldn't take it out on certain people, so he wanted to take it out on anybody he could find. I don't know what it was, Sanchez told police when he was asked why he chose Andres. He just seemed like a good guy. I don't really go for good people. What the... SWAT officers arrested Sanchez on Friday at his girlfriend's home. What just happened? Oh, let me get control room. Let's see what's happening back there. One more thing. I always do it like this. It's not. I guess it probably loses its edge after a while. Who knows? Okay, perfect. And I got the link ready for Jen and Mr. Operation GCD. Latah County prosecutor shares his insight University of Idaho case. Bring my neck around on this one. Hey, give it on. Got it. Nailed it. Okay. Is anybody else getting a little seasick right now? Okay. Wow, this is weird today. By the seat of my pants. Cockroach. I can't roach. Bill Thompson will forever be associated with BK. From the moment he heard his name to his arrest and the subsequent plea deal, the Latah County prosecutor is sharing his personal insights on the now infamous case involving the man who admitted to it. When did you first hear the name BK? Idaho's News 6 asked. We got a tip via investigative genealogy with the same Brian Koberger, and that enabled the investigators to start focusing on their inquiries on him. I'm getting a twitch in my eye. This one. He was a good guy. I don't go for good people. It's the same mentality if you're not picking one up laying down there. This darn cockroach keeps running over all over. The evidence fell into place pretty smoothly after that, but that tip is what really opened the case for us. Please let this go to trial. Thompson noted that before December 19th, 2022, investigators had only two pieces of evidence: a knife sheath found at the scene and a single source of DNA, not to mention the stuff that they put in the oven. And a video of a light white Elantra leaving campus. He stated that law enforcement did not track or use surveillance as Koberger and his father drove to their family home in Pennsylvania. Then the situation changed. The FBI did trash pulls at his parents' home in Pennsylvania, and the Idaho State Crime Lab was able to identify DNA from cotton swabs that had been used from his dad that matched the knife sheath. Not weird at all. After the arrest, Thompson said it was full speed ahead. Hold on, let me find that picture. I ain't having this today. I'm just not having it. That is bullshit. Where's that damn picture? I'll find it right now. Oh, while we read the story, it's just necessary to have it. Do you understand? There we go. He's a thoughtful gentleman, Mr. Bill Thompson. Very thoughtful. Where'd it go? Why isn't it showing? Oh, you found there. Oh, because it's over me. I see it. Oh, right. There we go. That's a nice, lovable guy. Just thinking. That's all. Just thinking. I don't know what he's thinking. Can't make it smaller. So you can take it. Alright, so full speed ahead. However, when the defense approached them about a plea deal, well, they sure skipped a lot right there. They needed to consult the families. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. It's been wonderful having you here. I'm going to just drink some cold soda and enjoy the rest of myself. Whatever might be left. Oh, Lord, he did not say that. However, when the defense approached... let me make sure. However, When the defense approached him about a plea deal, they needed to consult the families of Haley Gonzalez, Matty Mogan, Xana. He said it, folks. He said it right here. Hello, I'm Mr. Harsh. Do I look like Harsh right now? My eyes blue. You look wonderful, lads and ladies. They had to consult the families. He said it. He literally said it. Oh, man. Okay. Thank you. Hopefully I'm pretty, too. Keep it real chimmy. Bye-bye. Well, there you go. Nice to see you. Mommy ball. Good evening. One more time, please. Just for hello. Hello. Operator. However, when the defense approached them about a plea deal, they needed to consult the families of Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan. There were a wide range of opinions for and against the plea. Ultimately, they decided to offer a plea under specific conditions. He would have to plead guilty as charged in 5 felonies. He would have to waive any appeal. Boy, they really made it tough, didn't they? That whole allocation thing wasn't important, or where, or when, or how, or anything else. Those alt perpetrators can just go fuck themselves with the Hitler friends and family plan. Let's try to say that 5 times fast. Miss Potsy, hello, darling. Well, hello, Potsy. Yes, hello. Hello, Potsy. I'm losing it. He would have to waive any appeals. That was crucial because we wanted finality for the victims. Plea deal bill, making more plea deals to the public. And not have them suffer from endless appeals that would re-victimize them, Thompson said. We made it clear that he would receive fixed life sentences so that he would not leave prison. I asked Thompson whether the trial had proceeded this month. Would we have had cockroaches driving me crazy? We have learned anything more about why Kober did it? But in a case like this, they obviously cut something out of his answer. But in a case like this, we aren't going to get answers from the defendant. Even if he said something, there would be no way to corroborate it, in other words, or believe him. He's a liar. But they believed him when he said he was guilty, though, didn't they? You see, they don't want him to allocate because he can't. They have details that nobody knows still that he can't cooperate. There was multiple weapons. There was multiple perpetrators. At least 4. At least. And, yeah. JD, JS. Hunter. Not looking good, buddy. Goes around, comes around. Thompson says he has no plans to write a book about the man sitting in solitary confinement. And that's the end of that. I guess I technically showed a crime scene photo. Sorry, Mr. D. Oh, let's see here. Okay, a little update for you guys. If you're still using Windows 10, Windows 7 is better if you're not using the internet and stuff. Support is obviously ending, and then you can go to this website and they'll give you another year of support for free. And all you got to do is sign up for it. Okay. Hold on, you gotta sign up first. The media creation tool. I don't know. Here's the Here's the link to the article. How about that? And there's a couple different methods, so that can get you going on the Windows 10. Windows 11 is atrocious as far as updates and control they have over you. Apparently, with Windows 11, I think the biggest problem is you no longer own your computer. They own everything on your computer. Weird, man. Sounds of weird stuff they throw at you now. This is pretty funny. A guy, a Bay Area driver, was arrested after crashing their vehicle through the second floor railing of a parking garage. So you can see right here, they went through the railing. Was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence, and it was in Pleasant Hill parking garage, and landed their vehicle vertically in front of the garage's entrance. Yeah, I wouldn't move to San Francisco Bay. I go to the Tenderloin there. See what my opinion is about life. There's a moon. This was for Lucy Morningstar. I don't know if she even... Does she even come in the chat anymore? The August full moon, nicknamed the Sturgeon Moon, is expected to reach its peak August 9th with the E.T. the extraterrestrial. Will be there to share it with you guys. This full moon is a special because it is a set to be followed by a multi-planet alignment August 10th. So I had this in here from the other day. It's been a minute, about a week and a half, maybe, since we purged. So that was in there. If you missed it, sorry. Texas woman sues Marine, claiming he spiked her drink with smorgasbord pills. I don't know if I want to say that. You want me to read that again? I will. Texas woman sues America. Okay, so when I first moved to San Diego, there was this place called the Red Onion, and it was on Mission Beach there, in on the coast, and a lot of Marines, or actually a lot of sailors and Marines, were getting in trouble because they had these $10 drinks, and it was this huge bucket. Now a $10 drink is just a regular cup. But back then, it was a huge share it with 6 of your friends. And first off, they would leave them and go dancing, and then somebody would, like I had my buddies tell me they used to just go around drinking the sailor's drink. But anyway, there was, towards the end of the Red Onion, they actually called it the Spread Onion, if you get what I mean. Hey, if you get my drift. And maybe I should go back to Sultry. Hi, how you doing today there, Miss Potts? Looking good in that bikini, Mama. Hey, all right. Okay, so anyway. Something is shaking my ass. I don't know what it is. Driving around with a sledgehammer. Anywho. Yeah, and so spread on, and so towards the end of it, sailors and Marines were getting into trouble for spiking women's drinks. I had never heard of them using the morning after pill. However, in this case, it appears to be the case. A Texas woman is suing U.S. Marine alleging he spiked her drink with nearly a dozen smorgasbord spills, unaliving their unborn child, after she rebuffed his repeated requests to get rid of him. And so they're looking at a wrongful unaliving. Okay, so Leona Davis alleges Christopher Cooprider secretly dissolved at least 10 smorgasbord spills into a cup of hot chocolate. What a guy. What a dear. That he prepared for her on April 5th. What a sweetie, though, wasn't he? And then left the house and stopped responding as she profusely bled, the suit says. Cooprider 34 declined comment. Wow, he's still out. The lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Texas contained several purported text messages the pair exchanged for weeks, beginning January 31st when Davis asked Coop Ryder for his input in case she was confirmed to be pregnant. Coop Ryder said he would like to get rid of it. The text shows saying the two were not in love or together, and that it would be messed up to bring a child in the world without both parents raising them. When Coop reiterated his desire for Davis to get rid of it after a pregnancy test came back positive later, she asked him to use a different phrase. Every time you say get rid of it, it's like an electric shock. I literally feel like I'm going down the... 10? That could have killed her. The following text messages allegedly show Coop telling Davis without her approval that he would order some abortion online. The things were purchased from Ada Access, an online service that ships them abroad. Wonderful. A Dutch physician who runs it are also listed as defendants in the lawsuit. Aid Access. They do not immediately return requests for comment. For the next several weeks, Coop Ryder was unable to convince Davis to get one, and the text messages grew more contentious. On March 6th, Coop called the baby a thing and blamed Davis for her psycho mentality that he said caused her ongoing divorce. The lawsuit says Coop Ryder also threatened to testify against Davis in her divorce proceeding and bid to have custody of their 3 children. At the end of March, Coop Ryder texted that he wanted to shmort this monstrosity of a situation and said he felt trapped by the situation. But on April 2nd, Coop Ryder appeared to change his tone in text messages. He proposed making them some warm, relaxing tea in what they could call a trust-building night. Davis, who was 8 weeks, accepted. When the two met up, Davis' Corpus Christi residence on the night of April 5th, Coop Ryder handed a cup of hot chocolate shortly before midnight, according to the lawsuit. Within 30 minutes of drinking it, the suit says Davis began hemorrhaging and cramping. Davis knew she had to go to the emergency room, but she knew she could not leave the 3 children who were sleeping upstairs. They come up with a plan for Coop Ryder to pick up Davis's mother, who lived nearby, so she could watch the children. But once Coop Ryder left the house, he became unreachable. I am gushing, Davis texted him around 12:30. Davis's mother took an Uber ride to her daughter's house around 1 a.m. Around that time, Coop Ryder apologized and said he had to catch a flight the next day. Back home, Davis said she found the unopened box, or the open box, and a bottle, which she turned over to the police. The suit claims Coop Ryder mixed in 10 of the misoprostol something in the hot chocolate. What a winner, huh? Woof. This one's fun. A pregnant woman found unalived in tote sparks a double arrest in Ohio. There she is. In Jackson Township, Ohio, a routine walk turned horrifying on the evening of August 3rd, when hikers discovered a strong abnormal odor coming from a plastic tote left by the roadside. Inside was the body of Brittany Firstorms, who was found sealed in the containers. They don't get any better this week. I don't know, man. You read them and you clip them, and I didn't mean to put... Response teams later confirmed her unaliving and noted she was pregnant at the time, although her unborn child did not survive. Investigation unravels a shocking trail. Authorities traced the case back to Brittany's last known location, where 2 Middletown men, James Rothenbush and Rick Shepard, became the focus of their investigation. Officials executed a narcotics search warrant at Rothenbush. I just had one on tap, discovering paraphernalia and stuff, and then screws that match those used to seal Brittany inside the tote. Confessions surface among charges. During questioning, Rothenbush admitted that Brittany passed under suspicious circumstances in his home, and that he kept her body in the shower for several days for disposing of it alongside the road. Shepard corroborated the timeline, stating Brittany's body remained in the residence for nearly a week. And it doesn't look like it bothered either of them. And they're probably angry that they're being bothered about it. Both men acknowledged knowing that Brittany was pregnant at the time. I would love to know how did this girl come across these two bags of dump? Oh, that's a sad one. Come on, give me some happy thing. Let's see here. Okay. And this one, I mentioned it the other day. I don't know if anybody saw it, but who Brian Koger, Brian BK, planned to accuse of committing the Idahos. BK was planning to accuse other people of committing these horrific things. 6 days before the former criminology student pled guilty, Ada County District Court Judge Stephen Hippler denied his attempt to introduce possible new suspects as alternative perpetrators of the crime. According to E! News, in the filing, the judge described the connection that 3 of the 4 names provided by Kohlberger had to the victims, writing that they were each socially connected. Yeah, this is the real. I mean, if there's a lot of things that are pure fabricated part of the magic show, this was one of the biggest ones. And they came late in the hearings, and the judge literally said they were socially connected to one or more of the victims, interacted with them at social events hours prior to it, lived within walking distance of the crime scene, and were familiar with the layouts home from prior social events. So they couldn't have done it. But because BK doesn't know them, doesn't know the house, and has never interacted with them, then he did it. Literally, an idiot. While noting that each of the 4 individuals in Kohlberger's petition cooperated with police, including providing DNA and fingerprints, Hippler also stated in the docs that they were 3 friends, lived within walking distance of the now demolished King Road house, which ultimately conflicted with the investigation finding that the perpetrator drove a vehicle to the crime scene. Though none of Kohlberger's possible new suspects were identified in court filings, documents from the Moscow Police Department obtained by E! News suggested that one of the individuals could have been victim Kaylee Gonzalez's ex-boyfriend. According to authorities, report an individual identified as J.D. was scheduled to provide fingerprints to police on May 29th, 13 days after Kohlberger's motion containing the possible new suspects were filed per the documents. Meanwhile, in a November 2022 interview with police, a friend of Gonzalez described someone named J.D. as an ex-boyfriend with whom she had no apparent issues. According to other police records obtained by News, plus the document stated Gonzalez shared a dog with Murphy with that same ex. Following the judge's denial of the defense's alt suspects, Kohlberger pled guilty to all 4 as part of a plea. Do the math. Couple identified. I don't know what is happening in Clarkston, Idaho, but is rampant. It's sounding like Pasco County, Florida. I mean, it's Tex-Mex thunderclap. Duck Man never dies. Okay. Now there goes the chat replay. Let's see here. Ooh, man. Someone catch up on the chat. See everybody watching. Colder covered. Welcome in. Nice to see. Cool. Wow, a lot of mope food from you. Okay, you're singing in the right choir there, Duckman. I mean, I could just go on and on with Clarkston. There is. It's crazy. It's not like Lewiston. Let's see. Trump says administration is considering reclassifying the plat. And this has all kinds of far-reaching benefits and consequences and all that stuff. So we'll see how it plays out. There he is, folks. What do you think of that vest? Do you like it? I wish I'd used this. I forgot I had this picture. I wish I'd used it in my thumbnail. I'll definitely, you know what? Let's clip it right now so I don't forget for the next one. All right. Let's see. What a shot. He's so thoughtful of a guy, huh? Let's zoom in. Let's see what that little plaque says back there. Screenshot underway here. Classic frat. Let's see. Okay, maybe trying to be weird. Oh, it's a 250 right now. No, it's 300. Hold on. I can't read it. It's one of those I will be, I am, I can be a man, but I don't have a dick. The King Road homicides, which shattered Moscow in November 2020, trial by fire, as Lucy said. Said Dollinger told the Argonaut. We've already been through this one 100 times. Federal law enforcement, state law enforcement, and local law enforcement don't always get along. I think I read this in Not Kane B. Tuning into that one for more. We were willing to err on the side of silence to protect the case. They're trying to. Fry says he wishes he was a little bit more communicative during the early days, and then forget about the next 2 years. I was going to read this whole thing. I got so much more to get to. Have we seen Mr. JJ? He might be on strike for more hula burgers. I'm not sure. I'm going to ramp up the diabetes talk here in just a second. That'll usually get things going. Also, let me remind Jen what's going on. All right. I'm sorry I missed your show tonight, Sleuthie. Sleuthie, sweetheart. Fried duck for dinner. Oh, they're so cute. Quack, quack, quack. But anyway, okay, so yeah, this is. I think it literally made me vomit when I read it. I think this was the takeaway. No, they've changed. They changed the verbiage. There's always going to be a varying level of opinions. He then spoke to the work Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson and his team did in the time leading up to the sentencing, stating that there was a wonderful amount of evidence, and had there not been a plea, we would have been successful at trial. Wonderful. See that one. Look at, I'm telling you, look at this. Nez Pierce, Lewiston. Nez Pierce, Lewiston. Let's see if there's anything I missed here, just in case. There, here it is. Clarkston. I'm sorry, Clarkston, not Lewiston. Lewiston. It's amazing. It's just, look at this. Bill, good old Bill, Uncle Bill. Yeah, that must be hard for the families with the seeing pictures out everywhere. I can imagine. That's pretty tough. There's I was gonna do the thing. So, it's another one for Twiz here. Look at man Twiz. Cause of unaliving revealed for Hollywood heir who passed in jail, awaiting trial in family dismemberment case. Let's take a little listen. If we can.
Hollywood heir commits suicide in Los Angeles jail while awaiting triple murder trial. Sam Haskell IV, the son of a Hollywood producer, committed suicide while he was in a Los Angeles jail awaiting trial, according to the coroner. Haskell was accused of killing his wife and in-laws on November 6, 2023, and previously pleaded not guilty. The County of Los Angeles medical examiner determined that Haskell committed suicide by incised wounds to bilateral upper extremities. He was found dead on July 12th. Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman said in an earlier statement that prosecutors were set to reveal new evidence at a preliminary hearing, which included an alleged affair with a 27-year-old woman. According to Hochman, the new evidence also revealed that a bloody knife with all three victims' DNA was found in the possession of Haskell.
All right, so much for me changing all the words in my live, and then one little thing blows it. Oh well. Let's see what we got going on here. Wait, who's Duckman? Mar-a-Lago. Who is? Oh, it's Catacomb. Okay. Gotcha. Alright. Oh, it's not there anymore. Hang on, Jen. I'm trying to post the link for you there. Alright, so you got her. I think this is the one with the alternate verbiage. Let me just read this to you. We didn't go looking for a plea, Thompson said. We were not expecting to be approached. After 2 years, AT, former Kootenai County public defender and BK's lead defense attorney, attempted to convey her client's innocence, including an attempt to provide alternate perpetrator evidence. Taylor approached the prosecution and inquired about a plea deal, asking Thompson if his team had considered making an offer. I don't think it's a coincidence that the week before, the judge let him know their last-ditch efforts to continue the trial or confuse the trial were not going to be allowed. Perhaps that was a reality check. What do you think? What do you guys think? Was it a reality check? Or we get the reality check the minute that Hitler started the Friends and Family Plan? Thompson and his team met with representatives of the family to discuss the status of the case and the potential for a plea deal at the end of June. One family in particular very strongly felt that the death DP should be pursued, even if it would be decades before anything came to a conclusion. We had other families who felt equally strongly that they wanted this case over with. They wanted closure, they wanted finality, they didn't want the trauma that have gone with the trial. Thompson and his team decided the best outcome would be a plea deal that ensures the man responsible admits guilt. So he never even considered the adjudication, just apparently, according to him. All it takes is one juror out of 12 to derail the whole thing and see the truth, Thompson noted. Despite the split, all but one of the families attended the sentencing hearing with the opportunity to address Koberger directly. I was so glad the family members had their chance to finally say their piece, however they wanted to express it. Both during and after the sentencing, there was a still lingering desire to know why this brutal crime was committed, don't you think? This is what professionals call allocution. According to Thompson, when he pleaded guilty and he was placed under oath and he admitted that the charges were true, that's a type of allocution. And that's as much as the law requires. Why would we do anything that required any extra effort? Thompson also said, I could tell you from the very beginning, we had agents from the FBI's behavioral analysis unit, and they said right up front, first off, we're never going to know exactly why he did it. And if the person who did this told us, it wouldn't make sense to anybody but him. That's the nature of these types of violent crimes. You have someone that lives in a different world, functions in a different world, in ways that we can't understand. Are they talking about themselves or Koberger? As Judge Hippler passed sentence, he alerted BK and his team to the deadline for appeal in 42 days, or the first Wednesday of September. This would be considered a violation of the plea. Do you understand? So, despite him waiving his right to appeal by agreeing to the plea, he still has the right to ask his attorney to file for appeal. This would be considered a violation of the plea. If he wants to play games like that, it's literally, this particular article is literally a stand-up comedy routine. I don't know who wrote it for him. Maybe Eddie Murphy, some of these guys. If he wants to play games like that, we've already talked to the Attorney General's office and our moms, and we are ready to deal with it, said Thompson. Given Koberger's uncoerced agreement to the plea, it would be very difficult to convince the state to allow such an action. Now that a sentence has been delivered, the non-dissemination or gag order issued has been lifted. Dateline, whoever leaked the information, that was legitimate information. I hope they find who those people are and are held accountable. Whoever did that, no mercy. Classic. Oh man. All right. Oh, yeah. Let me refresh it so I get the title. Pete Hegseth reposts video featuring Idaho pasture saying women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth prepares to give intelligence interview outside the White House. The man who oversees the nation's military posted a video about a Christian nationalist church that included various pastors saying women should no longer be allowed to vote. What do you think of that, guys? The extraordinary post on X from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth made Thursday night illustrates his deep and personal connection to a Christian national pastor with extreme views on the role of religion and women. You may have heard of him. Lucy, in his post, Hegseth commented on an almost 7-minute long video reported by CNN Doug Wilson, co-founder of the Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, correct. The report also featured Gerald Longshore, an executive pastor from Williams Moscow-based church, advocating the repeal of women's right to vote from the Constitution. Another pastor said that in his ideal world, people would vote as households. The video also featured a female congregant saying that she submits to her husband. What year is this? When asked if they would support repealing the 19th Amendment, which prohibits the denial of voting rights to someone based on their sex, Longshore replied, I would support that. All of Christ for All Life, Hegseth wrote in his post that accompanies the video. It received more than 12,000 likes, and very disturbing. If I lose the chat replay for this, so be it.
No apologies for his beliefs on God and country.
I'd like to see the town be a Christian town. I'd like to see the state be a Christian state. I'd like to see the nation be a Christian nation. I'd like to see the world be a Christian world.
And now Wilson's controversial views as a Christian nationalist are gaining sway in the nation's center of power with the recent opening of his new church and high-profile parishioners like Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Is planting a church in D.C. part of your mission to try to turn this into a Christian nation?
Yes. So every society is theocratic. The only question is who's theo? In a secular democracy, it would be demos, the people. In a Christian republic, it'd be Christ.
Well, what would you say to someone watching this and say, look, I'm a Muslim. Who are you to say your worldview is better than mine, that your God is better than mine?
Well, if I went to Saudi Arabia, I would fully expect to live under their God's rules.
But you said earlier that you want this to be a Christian world.
Yes.
So you want to supplant their religion with your Christian.
Yes, by peaceful means, by sharing the gospel. There's a lot of work yet to do. I believe that we are working our little corner of the vineyard.
Working their little corner of the vineyard. So their plan is, if you were following there, to get a foothold in Washington, D.C. and make changes for the better, my friends. Let's watch.
Wilson's Little Corner, a picturesque campus nestled on the outskirts of downtown Moscow, Idaho, is growing by the day with thousands of like-minded Christians. Parishioners of his church, known as Kirkers, own and operate several businesses downtown, next to liberal college town stores.
If it's true.
Why did he yell boo? Because
of me.
Because of you.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's a regular day for you.
That's not unusual.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Love Doug. Don't you love Doug?
A big focus of his Christian movement is on a patriarchal society where men are dominant and women are expected to submit to their husbands.
Women are the kind of people that people come out of.
So you just think they're meant to have babies. That's
Well,
it. They're just a vessel.
No, it doesn't take any talent to simply reproduce by.
Oh, man. What a fucking prick.
Biologically, the wife and mother, who is the chief executive of the home, is entrusted with 3 or 4 or 5 eternal souls.
I'm here as a working journalist, and I'm a mom of 3.
Good for you.
Is that an issue?
Good for you.
No.
For you?
No, it's not automatically an issue.
Josh and Amy Prince,
my
along with their 4
goodness.
kids, moved here from Washington State.
Do you see Amy as your equal?
Yes and no, in the sense that we're both saved by grace. we're absolutely on equal footing. But we have very different purposes, God-given.
But do you see yourself as the head of the household, as the man?
He is
Do you want to take us back to the Middle Ages? Yes, you do.
the head of our household.
Yes.
Yes, and I do submit to him.
So like moving here
I was just
was
going to say that.
ultimately your decision.
Yes.
That's a great
great example.
Wilson says in his vision of a Christian society, women as individuals shouldn't be able to vote. His fellow pastors Jared Longshore and Toby Sumter agree.
In my ideal society, we would vote as households. And I would ordinarily be the one that would cast the vote, but I would cast the vote having discussed it with my household.
But what if there's your wife doesn't want to vote for the same person as you?
Right. Well, then that's a great opportunity for a good discussion.
There are some who have gone so far as to say that they want the 19th Amendment repealed.
I would support that. And I'd support it on the basis that the atomization that comes with our current system is not good for humans.
And Wilson, a veteran himself, is unapologetic about his view that women shouldn't be in certain leadership or combat roles.
Looking at the leadership page for Christ Church, it's all men. Do you accept women in leadership roles in the church and government?
In the church, no.
Why?
Because the Bible says not to.
Well, that's not what happens in the Bible. Women do lead all the time.
Progressive faith leader Reverend Jennifer Butler is concerned about Wilson's growing influence.
He is rapidly gaining in power. He has hundreds of churches established around the country. They actually literally want to take over towns and cities, and they have access to this administration.
Wilson is part of a broader Christian nationalist movement making inroads with the Trump administration, with a newly created faith office led by evangelical pastor Paula White Kane, and people seen right
Paula White Kane. Now, there's a good Christian name for you.
outside the White House entrance, praying and speaking in tongues.
We are standing on the soil of the White House, and we are declaring your word.
How precious! And now there's a monthly prayer
Oh, they
service
didn't
at the
show the
Pentagon,
speaking in
initiated by
tongues.
Exec,
I would've-
Wilson's highest level connection to the administration.
It's not organizationally tied to us, but it's the kind of thing we love to see.
For his part, Hegseth has publicly praised Wilson.
Now we're standing on the shoulders of a generation later, the Doug Wilsons and the others.
Wilson's influence spans the globe with more than 150 churches. Lennox Califungua moved.
I can see why. He is the best choice in Moscow, sadly.
To Moscow from Africa.
It's really because I wanted to be a part of a community that was doing something, and especially in building Christian institutions.
Are there other black families in this community?
Oh, absolutely. There's a few black families.
Wilson maintains all are welcome to his church.
There's a few black families.
But he's also not shying away from his past controversial statements on race.
Do you still believe what you said back in the 90s, that there's a mutual affection between master and slave?
Yes, it depends on which master and which slave you're talking about. Slavery was overseen and conducted by fallen human beings, and there were horrendous abuses, and there were also people who owned slaves who were decent human beings and didn't mistreat them. I think that system of chattel slavery was an unbiblical system, and
So we need a biblical system of slavery. Is that what it is? I think we got it already.
Grateful it's gone.
What he also wants gone? Same-sex marriage, because he thinks homosexuality is a crime.
In the late 70s and early 80s, sodomy was a felony in all 50 states. That America of that day was not a totalitarian hellhole.
So you would like America to go back to that?
Yep.
Wilson maintains his ultimate goal is to bring about the second coming of Christ through his work, and rejects critics' claims he's trying to make the dystopian world of The Handmaid's Tale a reality.
I'm not a white nationalist. I'm not a fascist. I'm not a racist. I'm not a misogynist.
How far off do you see a Christian nation, like a full-on Christian theocracy?
Okay, he's literally the definition of all those things. Literally.
Oh, 250 years?
250 years.
Yeah, honestly, that's yes.
What you see. But you do think it will happen?
Yes, I do. We're not going to usher in anything ourselves. We're really genuinely pioneers.
It's a slow-moving process for Christ Church. Okay, so a couple planes collided in Montana. You get the idea. Let's see here. Urgent search underway for missing Hudson teen Hope Philhauer. Again, Pasco County, Florida. Hudson is about an hour north of me here. Pasco County Sheriff's Office seeks public help in locating Hope Philhauer, last seen in August. They're intensifying their search for a missing and runaway 16-year-old Hope Philhauer, who was last seen in the Hudson area Another victim of the METH. It is, the METH is strong in that county. WSU fraternity faces 5-year shutdown for hazing violations. Yes, sir. Pullman, Washington. Washington State University has shut down Alpha Sigma Pi fraternity for 5 years due to hazing. And you see they shut them down. They give them a suspension, but they don't get rid of them entirely. Because, why am I all jagged today? I even reset my router. Leslie and Billy, hello. Very nice to see you. Yeah, if you're new to the Purge or you're a Purgeette, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me. I appreciate it. Keep this show somewhat in the algorithm there. And so they don't like to get rid of them completely because there's too much dollars. If you're familiar, apparently only 7% of tuition and class fees and stuff goes towards the budget of any university. And majority is going to come from your whatever the graduated classes are. Major fraternity. Sigma Chi is now required to undergo fire code and safety training from the Pullman Fire Department. The fraternity was also sanctioned in fall 2023 for providing alcohol to minors. A new investigation is underway involving Phi Gamma Delta fraternity at WSU. The house faces allegations for hazing, alcohol violations, and threats of physical harm dating back to October. Phi Gamma Delta was previously placed on disciplinary probation for furnishing alcohol to minors in 2023. These actions are part of WSU's compliance with Sam's Law, which mandates public reporting of violation allegations on Greek Row. The law enacted following the 2019 passing of Sam Martinez from alcohol poisoning at Alpha Tau Omega. So they're doing the least amount that they have to under a mandate. If the mandate said that they had to
hello?
There ain't my headphones. Unreal, dude. So the party continues over there at WSU.
Get rid of them all, Kane.
5 years.
Get rid of them all.
UCF fraternity allegedly hit pledges with cars in hazing incident. Guess what fraternity? Thank you, Rochelle, for this one. Yeah. The University of Central Florida is there in hold on. Oh, okay. I did see that. JJ is here? Where's JJ? I haven't seen JJ yet.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on there, pal? How you doing? Let me bring you up to the forefront here, huh? You're always bringing that gooch with you where you go, huh? Nice to see you, bud. How you doing? Did I ambush you with the live today?
Is this the Purge?
You found the right corner, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you cloning me, dude? Is this an ambush cloning situation? I feel like you're cloning me.
Oh, good news on my car. So it seems everything is good. No thermostat. I decided it was okay. I changed up your AC. Oh, I charged up the AC, and it is a lot colder than before. Also, did you notice I tried to fix your seat on your bicycle? Yeah. It was like 6 inches higher because he's like super tall. Anyway, so my car's okay, and it's ready to get picked up. Isn't that awesome, JJ? Yeah, I had it overheat the other day.
That's fantastic news, sir. That's fantastic news. I must say, though, you sound undernourished. Perhaps you need a sidebar.
Listen, bro, I don't know how long you've been watching, but I've been feasting on Reese's Pieces, bananas, and sodas. I need another soda. I wish I had. Boy. Oh, I also have pecan pie for Love Tina 2010.
Well, that's the kind of type 2 diabetes talk I came here for, sir. So good to see you there, Kane. Good to see you, fellow purgers.
Welcome in, sir. We don't see you,
Are
though.
Are you E.T.? Isn't that E.T.'s favorite snack?
Mm-hmm. In the book, it was M&M's, but the M&M's people didn't want anything to do with the movie, so they changed it to Reese's Pieces. And that was the beginning.
This
of
sounds
Reese's
preposterous.
Pieces. It's a true story.
This sounds like the time the U.S. Air Force told the Top Gun folks and Tom Cruise to go fuck themselves.
Was Hitler
So it became a Navy film.
Oh. Miramar.
Well, yeah, but originally it was an Air Force film.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We should do a esoteric review of that.
Absolutely. I like Tom Cruise films. He plays a very good tall guy who knows how to fight. He's not one in real life, but he does great on the screen.
Yeah, did you see him get squirted in the face in the video today?
No, but have you seen the film Jack Reacher?
Yeah.
Why are you laughing at that? It's an excellent film, sir. Why are you laughing at it?
It's terrible.
Get out of town. Dude, he played such a good tall guy who knew how to fight in that film, dude. What are you talking about?
In the video.
Fought 5 dudes at once, man. What are you talking about, dude?
Shh, don't tell JJ I'm trying to clone him right now.
He harnessed the power of Xenu, dude. Solve some crimes. Now, I am going to do a review on that one coming up. Would you like to join me for that?
I would. I'd be happy to join you with that. I have some diabetes news while you're here.
You also have some interesting insight as a local Clearwater, person. Whenever I talk Scientology stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, plenty of it. I'm full of it, as they say.
Well, I knew that, but you also have a lot of Scientology information, details.
So now, 55 years later, after stealing the McDonald land idea from the people that did H.R. Puffin stuff, McDee's is taking adults down memory lane to relieve some of the experiences in McDonald land. I have to be honest. Every time I do delivery from McDonald's now, I am very tempted to grab this collectible tin. It comes with a Grimace shake and all kinds of new little featured items, trading cards, stickers, all kinds of collectible stuffs. Now here they give the McDonald brothers opened the first McDonald's in San Bernardino. I wonder if they say, oh, here's the commercial. They don't say anything about stealing McDonald's land and never paying the people that created it, but yeah, they have a
because you're making that up, dude. I told you last time you're making that up.
Yeah, did I already talk about this? I thought we talked about this. They do talk about how they stole it. Here
no
it is.
way. You're trying to sell me some Philip Seymour Hoffman nonsense again. I know it.
Sid and Marty Krofft Productions were awarded $50 million in damages in 1977. An appeals court reassessed the damages in favor of the cross to more than $1 million. Oh, it was 50,000. Wait, it says 50 million, and then it says down to $1 million. And McDonald's was ordered to stop producing some of the characters, or they modified them to become legally. See, I told you it was a true story.
I feel like this is a blog post that you wrote earlier today while you were trying to clone me.
I did it. You know what my favorite computer was? It was the in-betweener. It was the word processor. I almost wrote the greatest American novel on a word processor one time, but I never got around to it, and I ended up moving to California.
This sounds like an ex-girlfriend tale. Please continue.
Oh, well, that one is, yeah, that's on the hush hush. I can't really, there was 3 girls involved. Ooh, Alex Jones is back. Okay, so yeah, hi, how's it going, man? So, what's new in Op GCD land?
Is this the purge? We purging?
We can't see you because we don't know.
Well, here's the deal, friend. Here's the deal, bud. Evening, sir. I was rolling a Skittle, and I figured I couldn't roll Skittles nor smoke Skittles on screen. So
I see you got the memo today.
yeah, there you
He's like, yeah. Sure. Censorship, sure. Love it. How do you like that Doug Wilson article there? Kind of shoots Lucy down a little bit, even though he is one of the preferred tastes in Idaho. But
I like Doug. Doug's a character. I like characters.
yeah, he has an agenda though.
He's also not a commie, so that's that's a big plus in his category. Me liking him, not being a commie. That's especially in those parts.
Few and far between nowadays. Yeah, the Pacific Northwest is overrun.
Well, I mean, the shit he's been engaged in with the locals fighting over all those mask mandates, I can respect that. I can also respect his pseudo children's story time hour, Mr. Wilson's Neighborhood, where he lights shit on fire. I like that. So, as far as Operation GCD, business as usual, sir. In fact, right now, I'm actually live/recorded over there on a discussion relative to the Idaho4 that I did on the Wicked Planet podcast with my associate Ron from New England and Rick Smith, his co-host there. Good folks. But other than that, doing business as usual, sir. And as far as the case goes here, I'll table my fast food discussions and type 2 diabetes comments for later. As far as the case goes here, in this preposterous nonsense about statements these folks are making, documents being released and not released and whatnot, and the narratives these are painting, and the photographs that are complete tomfoolery. So you mean to tell me that these photographs are being taken while these alleged deceased individuals are laying in these locations, and I'm going to go ahead and say bollocks. There's no way those photographs are taken when there's nothing in the photographs. They would have to move. So let's take, for example, the upstairs situation on the third floor. Do you see that little blood on the pillow and some blanket and a little bit on the walls there? You know, like, oh, this is so gruesome. Well, first of all, that's not relative to the injuries that were inflicted in the paperwork that was produced relative to that situation in that specific room. And further, you mean to tell me Officer Sanchez or whatever his name is moved the bodies to take that photo? Shouldn't there be a dead body right there where that pillow is? And on top of that, you look at the same thing in Ethan and Zaina's room on the second floor there. Let's say that they have a queen size bed. Ethan's 6 foot, 6'6". So if he's laying, across the bed, his feet are off the bed anyway. And as we see in the reports, his feet and legs are off the bed, but we don't see that in the photograph. Just on top of many, many other issues I have on its very basic level, like folks want to dissect these things. We'll dissect that. We're showing photographs where there should be bodies and there's no bodies.
There was, I think, Harsh did a video, and he said, "Where's the blood? Where is the blood? Where's this horror scene where the blood was coming out of the foundation of the house?"
I'm a half ginger fella who spent a lot of years in the Middle East. I've had nosebleeds, the heat-induced nosebleed situations. I've had nosebleeds that produce more blood than that.
I was saying when we were watching on Miss Potts' channel that I've cut myself shaving and wound up with a bloodier scene than that. And so it's again, they're showing us what they want us to see, without a doubt. And this is a body cam release that Miss Christie Nevada came out with today, of the coffee house or the coffee pot apartments, and it's an interesting dialogue between the officers here. I'll let it play while we talk, but I believe you see glass over here on this ledge from when they shot Kopaka, and then there's apparently a couple bullet holes like right in this area. So I don't know. Yeah, did you have any other takeaways? Okay, so first of all, they told us that there was no rugs involved at all. And then the first thing you see in one of the pictures is a rolled up bill and driver's license next to it to chop it up. And
I bet that is the first thing you saw there, Cheech. What else you got?
that's right there, Puff the Magic Dragon. Well, let's see. It seems like it's a different picture. I had the impression that Xana was laying in the hallway, but you can see that.
Well, that's because that's what they reported in previous incarnations of their tale, right?
I swear by the Bible that that's what I heard. But apparently,
no, dude, that was one version. We went through that evolution where she was laying there, where we see that beer pong table.
I don't know whatever to believe in any case anymore in this story. And so I don't know. It's just one delusion or diversion after the other, and they have her inside the room, and if I remember correctly, it would be impossible where she's laying to close the door, and they have her blurred out there at the edge of the doorway. So it's like nothing adds up what they say, and they're
for sure,
doing,
dude. Well, let's take a note on what you just said right there with the doorway situation on the second floor alleged crime scene. The pictures we've seen do not appear to fit the same. I got some questions about the dimensions of what we're looking at there versus the empty room real estate photos. Some shit don't seem to comport with as far as locations in that whole environment, if you will.
right. We were talking about that on pods also. It's like, why didn't they use a wide angle lens here and do a virtual tour? You know what I'm saying? It's like we're waiting for the drone footage so we can list the property here. Exactly.
Well, but let's look at the circumstances here. We're told this is what I think I called him Sanchez or whatever, Nunez, one of those guys. We still don't know the precise environment of response nor the body cam footage of those responding officers. It's been, again, numerous reports, numerous incantations or incarnations, as Lucy Morningstar was just saying. But my point there is the photos we're getting are from Homeboy's cell phone. And apparently he's using an iPhone 4, given the quality of the images. And
an iPhone
and on top of that, on top of that, dude, the evidence depicted in these scenes they show no signs of struggles. Again, the volume of blood, and let's go again with floor. Let's go look behind floor number 3. The volume of blood on that bed. So let's assume both Kaylee and Maddie are on the other half of the bed we can't see. I believe it's a full size. Might be a queen. Either way, that we're to presume that's how they were found when the police responded, because this guy should not be taking cell phone photos with his iPhone 4 and moving shit around. Right, so we don't see a body there. We see a tiny blood spot. Again, I've bled more overnight in a nosebleed than what we see on that pillow. And we see what appears to be a small amount of spray on the wall. We see the minimum amount to convince folks, there was a crime committed. This is how the crime was committed. It was committed here. And again, I'm not making that statement to say these folks aren't dead. Again, I'd like to see more evidence. But what I'm saying is the crime could have been committed somewhere else, and they're just telling us this is the house and staging the scene in that regard. Either way, that shit ain't right. Whatever you're eating right now, you're going to need to FedEx me some of that, but that shit ain't right.
Pecan pie. You can be Thanksgiving 365 days a year. They're only 86 cents at Walmart, by the way. Somewhere. I have them in the box. But anyway, they're delicious. Sorry you didn't come prepared today. Where's your payday?
Oh, dude, I've been off the paydays and the due for a while. I'm doing big things on a big diet, just stepping up my workout, my diets, and I've been following the teachings of my yoga guru and master, Diamond Dallas Page.
Good. I just sit back and collect checks.
I'm down. First of all, sir, I'm underneath 200 pounds for the first time in a couple decades. So that's a plus for me.
Good for you, damn.
Well, years ago, I used to have to carry my combat weight. You know what I mean? My street fighting weight, my combat weight. So I don't have those problems anymore. So I figured I'll just go ahead and lose some weight.
You're looking fit, sir. I will say.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Just don't get emaciated.
DDP Yoga, dude, it's pretty good stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't work for them. It's not a paid endorsement by any regard, but
Is that hot yoga?
I do like it.
Do you do hot yoga?
Well, it's hot. Lately, it's been hot every fucking day. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I do the yogurts outside, so you got to deal what you got to do with the heat. But I like the heat was to a certain regard when you're working. I don't want it cold.
I like the Tai Chi and the Gracie Brothers ninjutsu kind of stuff. But...
Well, let's start off small. Put down the type 2 diabetes and do some more of that Gracie stuff.
I'm feeling good. I'm getting fit. I'm almost down to 200 right now, and I'm probably about 8 inches shorter than you. So that's pretty.
I don't know if that's accurate. How tall are you, sir?
5'7".
Dude, I'm 5'10". We're virtually the same height.
Oh, you're 5'10". I pictured you more of a 6'1" fella.
No, coming in flat at 5'10".
Okay, that was my
kind of tall for a Scots Irishman.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me play football in high school because they said I was too short or too small, and I had just come off Bucks training camp with Leroy Selman, Doug Williams, Scott
Jerry
Brantley,
Sandusky.
and all those guys. I was an animal, and the coach said I got 300-pound guys out on my line. I said they're all a bunch of pussies. And that
if they wanted to make you a champion, though, they should have sent you. They wanted to make you a champion. They should have sent you to Jerry Sandusky's football camp.
I was already a champion without Sandusky. Yeah, and I know what the protocol is over there.
Well, that'll test your speed and reflex getting away from them diddlers, dude. That'll step up your game in the off season.
Yeah, the diddlers were around though in the 70s. They just kind of hung around and creeped.
Yeah,
and probably made their moves. I was a chubby child, so that probably kept me safe out of that whole.
Yeah, I never
madness.
played the foosballs. I play soccer, the basketball, and baseball. But
are you playing the foosball?
Are you a college? Are you a college football fan?
I am. Yeah. Gators.
Are you familiar with the legendary Ohio State football coach Woody Hayes?
Was he like Sandusky predecessor?
No. Ohio State, not Penn State.
Oh, okay. I always, for some reason, think Sandusky, Ohio State. You're right, yeah. Negative.
Well, Sandusky, Ohio, I don't think that's anything to do with Jerry Sandusky, but it might.
There's no memorial for him there.
No, he was this dude who was like the major, like, I don't know, dude. I'm not from Ohio, but when I moved to Ohio, like everyone was like, oh, everyone's about this guy, and folks love Ohio State in this state. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
But so I don't know who this guy was. I think he coached all throughout the 70s, maybe. But he had he was a pretty legendary coach, and then he had his assistant. He got fired, I guess. Who knows? I don't think he may have been diddling. I don't know, but I don't think he was. Who knows? His assistant, I don't remember that dude's name. Pretty legendary dude himself. This is how much I care about college football and whatnot, and generally in sports for that matter. But I got tasked to take a bunch of Air National Guard airmen from Springfield, Ohio, to Iraqistan because I was, active duty, senior NCO, master sergeant, and I had a lot of experience in deployments come 2010. So these folks were getting involuntarily immobilized by the Secretary of Defense, which I was fighting against in DC and lost a lot of those battles with, taking, instead of deploying the active duty, I did manpower at the time at headquarters, and instead of doing active duty deployments, they started involuntarily immobilizing reservists and National Guardsmen. So anyhow, I long story short, I find myself leading these folks over to Iraqistan, about 32 of them there, and they had a big affair for them. Yeah. Oh, dude. 25 of them under the age of 25. And because they're all college students, they just suddenly got involuntarily mobilized by the Secretary of Defense. And like, what the fuck? So, they got about 5 or 6 months notice, I think it was, but maybe 4.
Not a whole lot of training, it sounds like.
Well, dude, you're in school one day and then suddenly you're in Iraqistan. That's what I'm saying. I was fighting the whole program from the headquarters level, and put my money where my mouth was to not let a bunch of fucking, one of my troops, I got shot at. One of my troops got hit. He got a Purple Heart. He went home early. I had 2 troops to go home early. Anyhow, so I wasn't into this whole program, but
Was he
Took
hit
these
in the
folks to
buttocks?
Iraqistan. He actually did get hit in the buttocks, too. That's funny you say that, actually.
I'm a funny
he
guy.
got he took a mortar, some shrapnel from mortars, right in the buttocks. And we're in the ER that morning there at the Air Force camp there in Baghdad Airport. And I'm standing there talking and trying to keep him calm as they're getting him ready for the surgery and whatnot, and stopped all the bleeding because he got hit like in 5 different spots in the buttocks and leg. And you hit an artery, which it did. It created a problem pretty fast. We got him under control into the hospital within a few minutes, but and luckily he's walking today. But he was on Kane and whatnot for a while. Anyhow, not a Kane Ultra, but a Kane to walk around on, but. I'm standing there with him in the OR, and he says, he goes, Sarge, look at my junk and tell me if it hit my junk. I'm like, dude, I'm not looking at your junk to let you know if it hit your junk.
Oh, man, look at his junk.
I'm
bro.
like, you got a nurse right here, dude. She'll look at it. He goes, yeah, I don't want her looking at my junk. I'm like, dude, I'm not looking at your junk.
It might be mangled junk, bro. You don't want to chase it.
I was like, I thought about playing that game with him, telling him it was all mangled up and mashed up and stuff, but he was all morphine popped out, dude. He wasn't gonna remember.
Was it all there?
I would have remembered it, dude. I didn't care what that looked like. I didn't want to look at his junk.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah. It's the nurse's job. So was it all there? Did you ever find out, or?
Oh, he was good, dude. He was good. He got hit. The shrapnel didn't go through the buttocks. It went through the leg, though.
Well, you know what they say. The best thing about getting hit in the buttocks is you get all the ice cream you can eat.
Oh man! Well, they did ship him to Germany for a few weeks before he went home, so to get some surgeries and whatnot. So he definitely got some ice creams in there.
Hell yeah!
But when that whole journey started, when I on a going away function, if you will, like the whole unit's deploying, all the politicians are out there and whatnot, and they get this legendary Ohio State football coach to come there and give the whole unit, myself and the 32 troops I had deploying with me. A little, pep talk, a little pre-deployment pep talk. And I just remember going there. It's like 6 a.m, dude, drinking my coffee, not happy about life in general and whatnot, but, generally speaking at the time, but just, it's Iraqistan. Who wants to fucking go there? But I was leaving DC because that was the worst place, in my opinion. But the football coach,
too much
like,
politics for you, huh?
Oh, dude, way too much politics. And the football coach was like, "Oh, who's the ranking? Who's the ranking guy here?" And I'm just like, "Yep, that's right here, bud." And obviously, I was I don't know, I was 30 at the time, so I looked like I was maybe 18. He was taken aback by that, and on top of that, he then starts like, dude, getting in my face and like yelling at me like he's the fucking football coach or something. And I don't even flinch or nothing, dude. And he's just like, at the end of his little speech and yelling at me and stuff, in the whole room, dude, he got into it and it was way too early for any of this. And he's just like, how do you feel now? He's like, how do you feel, Sergeant? I was like, oh, I mean, I need to finish this coffee. I feel a lot better. So that's kind of, I don't understand any of that kind of culture, I guess is what my point is. This dude was ramped up though, dude. You ever seen the film Due Date with your friend Zach Galifianakis you like to troll me about? I said Philip Seymour Hoffman before. I meant Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, he was McLovin in Superbad, right?
No, dude. No, you're doing it again. No, Galifianakis and Robert Downey Jr. in Due Date. And he tells he wants to be an actor. So Downey Jr.'s like in there in that bathroom scene. He says, do an improv, do a scene for me. Pretend you're a football coach. Just run around the room acting like a fool. That's what this dude was doing, but he was real serious about it, dude. Real serious.
Like he was giving the Game of Inches speech, Tony D'Amato, in Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, dude. He's like, go out and win the fourth quarter, and he asked me how I felt in front of the whole crowd, and he was very disappointed. I was very unmotivated by all of it.
Yeah, not so gung-ho for the war for oil, huh?
Well, I was not only that, I was honest with him. I was way too early for this, buddy, to finish my coffee. What are you talking about? How do I feel?
Then we could talk.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, well, DC politics, I guess. You also had Schwarzkopf at that time.
Well, this is what era do you think I served in? Schwarzkopf? No, dude. I was in DC. I got tasked out to go take this unit out of Springfield, Ohio. to Iraqistan. The football coach was named Earl Bruce. Apparently, people know him.
Fair enough. You still there?
Yeah, I was just reading about if he's still alive. He's dead. He died in 2018. 87 years old. He's a real firecracker, that guy, though.
A real
about
butt
5'4",
plug, huh?
maybe 5'5", real butt plug. I say spark plug, I meant butt plug. About 5'5", and just a ball of energy for that hour of the morning. I'll tell you that much.
Did you guys win the game?
We went to Iraqistan. I'll tell you what, we had very much lost that game. That was a hell of a. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I have one little gray patch of hair on the side of my head, and I got it back then, and I named it after a couple different characters I was on that deployment with. You know, one of which was the son of the top enlisted dude in the Air Force, right? It was his son, and that's kind of one of the reasons I got roped into that situation. So I knew that dude from headquarters. He's the chief enlisted manager, the chief master sergeant of the Air Force, as they call him. You know, I played softball with the dude in DC. We were on the same team. You know, he played shortstop. We knew each other. You know, and he's like, "Oh, my son's, on that." He was the one who first kind of got that whole ball rolling with me going and taking that unit over there, because he knew how disinterested I was in remaining in DC at that time, first and foremost. But it was a interesting experience. We went to El Paso for 6 weeks beforehand, and went to training there. And then for some reason, our deployment, our flights to Iraqistan were for some reason delayed for like 2 weeks. So then they put us up in hotels for 2 weeks. My team and like 5 other teams. So we have a few hundred Air Force military police folks run around El Paso, because they're going to go to Iraqistan for like 8 months.
Yeah, I was
going to
say,
piss.
That's got to be good times, right?
Well, define good times.
A bunch of military police running around having their own hotel rooms.
Yeah,
visiting
dude.
various drinking establishments, finding various forms of women of ill repute, possibly.
Yep, all of that was going on. A lot of shenanigans. Some none of my troops, some of them got in trouble, but wasn't any of my troops that got sent to the hospital or in jail, thankfully.
Here we go.
I mean, I had to negotiate a couple of those circumstances, because those were the terms presented. We were ultimately on lockdown when the general called a fucking conference that I had to go, and I knew the general. Obviously, I worked for him back in DC, so I'm suddenly being held accountable for a lot of this shit. I'm like, how the fuck is this on me, dude? Like, what is going on right now? I'm like, I'm the one holding the fucking peace down here. I don't want to be in this, in this hotel in El Paso. That's the last place I want to be. And the last thing I want to do is babysitting and around, corralling a bunch of fucking cats around here. Because again, dude, the first few nights I went from me and the other senior NCOs, we were at the hospital, the police station, etc., dude. Doing, taking care of business. A couple of my troops got out of hand. One of them's ex-wife, homegirl's ex-husband or something like that. They were young. They got married in the police academy. You know what I mean? He went off to a different assignment. She was a National Guardsman. He was an active duty guy. I don't know why these kids did that, but he shows up out of nowhere. He's creating a domestic situation, dude. After that, I threatened everybody. I said, you all step out alone one more fucking time. We're gonna have a lot of fucking problems around here. My team, that was, at least, because I didn't give a shit about I was helping the other situations out, but I didn't give a shit. I had to get back to DC after these circumstances. I got fucking yelled at by the general over the fucking phone with a bunch of other people on it, dude. Like, it was my fault. I'm like, I don't know what's going on right now. You can't reply to that. You can't. You just. Yes, sir. All right.
Yeah.
So that's how that deployment started. It also continued on me getting shot at, troops getting, the old Forrest Gump wounds.
The mama said they was magic shows, Jedi.
And on that note, regarding these videos you're showing here, I haven't seen a single scintilla of evidence that leads me to believe any actual SWAT situation transpired on the radio traffic or the police body camera footage. If we're going to look at holes in a wall, I'd like to see evidence that's somehow presented from either one of those circumstances at that night.
Well, the previous video was showing glass shards on this little area of roof here. I mean, previously in this video.
What's that mean, though?
All the windows appear to be intact, which is my problem with it. So where did the glass come from? Because there's no windows over here on this side, and all these seem to be intact unless they were replaced by the time they started this body cam video that very same day.
That's what they did. Yep. They replaced them immediately while the gunman was shooting out the window and screaming obscenities, because you don't see that in there either, and you don't hear it on the radio traffic.
I'm trying to. The trajectory is my problem, and they mentioned that in the body cam. They talk about the trajectory doesn't match, and so I don't know if he was in this window or this window up here. That the bullet holes are here, and so he would literally have to be holding the rifle outside the window, shooting at the awning for whatever reason, or it.
Oh, I think I solved this. He's hanging, he suspending from his feet, rappelling outside the window. Mid-air, he fires 2 shots before he's then jerked back by the wire, and then therefore unable to continue.
He tied some sheets together and pulled himself back out. Yeah, it's just as nuts as everything else, man. This one is a quagmire of weird cutout body cams, timestamps disappearing, not just like changed, but just blanked out. They didn't even care. And it seems like they reenacted the whole thing where they're like, Brent, we just want to make sure you're okay. Pick up the phone. And it's like an hour of that. Just go kick in the door. You're SWAT. Hold your bulletproof shield up and tase the guy and figure out what's going on. And then allegedly at the end of it all, he supposedly says they want to pin that thing that happened in Idaho on me. Which
I don't buy any of that. Here's the deal. When I listened
true.
to that actual radio communications in December of 2022, about 30 minutes into that, some girl, sounds real fat and out of breath, is wanting her latte or whatever down from her patrol car that she left. So this is not a SWAT environment. This is not an emergency situation. And once again, when the body camera footage was released, we see another situation like you're describing. It does not match the reports, nor does it indicate any evidence of the storyline which they're producing.
Well, one of the most outstanding things for me is, I'll pause this real quick because this is kind of relevant. Okay, so they're walking, the police and this guy, the colored fellow that was letting everybody into his apartment and making coffee for him. The police are leading him down to the parking lot here, and they're saying they're calling him one name, like Ricky or something like that, right? And then when they get down and they start walking out in the parking lot, they say, "Hey, Chris," and he turns around, and that's his actual real name. And so a lot of people said, "Oh, he must have been a CI already," and so they were using the CI name when they thought the body cam wasn't running or wouldn't be seen.
That's certainly possible. Certainly possible.
So that's
look. What was inside that apartment? There was no furniture.
No
in there, man.
furniture. His phone was wiped. It doesn't even appear that he lived there. The roommates that called the cops are like, "Oh, they shouldn't have done this to him. He was my best friend." Well, why did you call the cops?
Initially, the hostage situation was reportedly with 2 females.
Was it? I did not know that.
Yep.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, the coffee pot apartments right there. So the sniper was allegedly right up here, and it was MPD and Pullman have a combined SWAT unit from both of their forces. So whether or not whoever the gunman was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Chief Fry was the leader of the SWAT team that day, as far as I know.
I've actually looked for that. I wanted to know who was the SWAT commander on scene, actually, and I don't think they've been honest about it all. what's the environment dynamic of that response like the 11/22 response?
Yeah, they've released everything up so far, and a lot of people are calling for the body cam footage of when they went into the house and saw the knife sheath for the first time. Because if you remember, I think it was on the third pass that they finally found that.
Yeah, I don't buy it. But what time of day is this supposed to be? Because that incident was at night, dude. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, apparently this is some next day stuff. Let me make it bigger. 11:46.
Yeah, but they were clear of that incident by like 1:30, I believe.
Yeah, this is 0800 on. I imagine it's the next day on 03/28/23.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, because they had Koberger by December 2022, right?
Yeah, that incident happened on December 15th, 2022 with Kopak.
It says 03/08/2023.
Well, that's fascinating because if that's indeed correct, that is that precise week where I said before, I keep saying repeating, is a fundamental change in this entire case happened that week. With circumstances and events that transpired that week, you have within that 7-day period preceding that, you have the defense producing a private detective affidavit saying Bethany Funk needs to be subpoenaed, motion for subpoena for exculpatory evidence. Caden Young dies, and Bill Thompson files the Brady Giglio motion. So if this also happens in that same week, that'd be very fascinating.
Well, the reason I say that Koberger was arrested in December 2022 is because him and his dad mentions this shooting when they pull him over.
Are you telling me that you want me to believe this is the Kopaka incident and this in March?
I just noted. I wouldn't even have looked at the timestamp and seen the date if you hadn't mentioned it. Wow!
How dare you, sir? What other shenanigans are you going to try to pull on me tonight? You pulling me, Kane?
I think this is Zach Galifianakis without his wig right here. This ball goes.
I think you're distracting me in an attempt to clone me, dude. There's no way this is Kopaka, dude. That's what I'm saying. It happened at nighttime. I believe the initial response they claim was 8. Witnesses would report earlier, apparently, and then I believe it's completely done by 01:30. Stand by for Lucy Morningstar to correct me on my times and dates.
Fair enough. I will. I did my thumbnail today on one of the chat comments in another live that said it would be funny if they put the little guy on top of his shoulders on the ladder so they could get up higher. So I put Payne on somebody's shoulders. That's where the thumbnail from today came from, if you haven't seen it.
This is the knife in the gutter. I get it. All right. Well, anyway, this idea that any of these events transpire the way to describe around Kopaka, we've got to see. The evidence we have seen tells us that it didn't transpire that way. We don't know what happened, but whatever this is the same shenanigans I'm talking about, dude. So many shenanigans right now, so many reports, so many things. We release none of it's relevant. None of it's relevant to the crimes that transpired. None of it's relevant to Brian Koberger. All it does is show all the bullshit.
Yeah, they've packed it full of fresh bullshit. Every day they keep reloading it, and I don't think they've admitted that they weren't going to bother with allocation because he would have lied, or perhaps because or because he didn't know what to say because the facts wouldn't have matched because he was never in the house.
Yeah, but when's the last time I know you're not doing a lot of true crime stuff in your past. I don't do true crime stuff now because I don't know what that is. What a fake crime is. I just know what crime is, but
there's a lot of fake crime. There's plenty of real crime. I see shit all the time.
Well, I got a crime right now for you. But when's the last time you've seen any detectives, prosecuting attorneys, attorney generals, etc., go on a national tour campaign, international tour campaign?
The stroke each other's cocks tour they're doing right now?
Yeah, dude, they're all giving each other the old stroke.
Well,
like, let me help you out there, Bill. Let me give you a reach around there, Fry. You know, they're doing one of those numbers.
listen, I honestly think that from the stories I've read so far, that they are digging themselves a little deeper if this thing ends up going to trial.
Well, I mean, we could probably table that, but what do you like? Have you seen another circumstance? I don't think that's going to trial ever. There's no courtroom's going to see this fucking case. I can assure you of that.
Yeah,
file as many motions as you want.
It does have to go through the state of Idaho to get approved, so the chances are slim and none. And Slim's left town.
Well, if you want to go full blown Iran Contra, I can give you a handful of cases where those folks got railroaded and their cases never saw the light of day.
But if he does file an appeal, he does break the plea agreement. So he does have the right to file an appeal, but they can cockblock it just as likely.
Sir, I'm going to interrupt you because you're applying actual reason and logic. We're dealing with bird law here, Idaho bird law. And, you know, and again, so there's, for example, retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Chalmer Hayes spent 19 years in prison. He got railroaded relative to Iran Contra. He was trying to blow the whistle on some of that nonsense, and he never got to see his day in court and never got to see an appeal. All the appeals got immediately discharged upon filing. Denied.
Do you think that there is something more behind the plea deal that we don't see that's a benefit to him or his family, that would inspire him to leave the alternate perpetrators by the wayside and just take the heat for everybody?
Here in America, sir, all things are possible. But what I do know, though, in this case is I'm going to need to see a lot more evidence that the crime actually occurred, that there's folks that are actually deceased, and with these tomfoolery and shenanigans that are currently producing, I'm not the least bit impressed with.
JJ, fruit roll-ups.
What'd I say?
The material you were holding in your hand. Let's just keep them off my back, bro. I know. Yeah, I know. Please.
I keep taking it down. I keep forgetting, but
I've been training you for 6 months, JJ.
So you see what I mean, though, dude? Like, where's the evidence? Not only where's the evidence that Cobra has anything to do with this event,
right?
Where's the evidence that any crime actually occurred?
No evidence is the evidence. That's the problem. His car was too clean.
That is the problem.
There was nothing found at his apartment. And she gets into how they ordered a knife in the same manner that Koberger, or it's somebody's document. Anyway, further on in this, it was another live or something that I saw, but apparently because they were able to order it the same way, then that's how he ordered it. You know what I mean? It was weird.
Well, sir, you have eyebrows. You drive an Elantra. You probably did it.
Which I actually have to go pick up here pretty soon because it's getting pretty late. But we're still purging, so I appreciate
What are your
everybody
thoughts then on? What are your thoughts on all these pictures and documents and bullshit?
It's the same impression everybody else has. Where's all the blood? Why is a foosball table set up with cups all over it? And you have one side, everything's knocked down. The other side, it's perfectly picked up. Listen, they talked about a cleanup. There was a cleanup done. How on earth are you going to do a cleanup at that time? And secondly, if there was some type of flashbang or pew pew used in this crime, where are the indentations and the marks that it left? I'm starting to think that it was a gun that was fired maybe as a warning shot or something like that. So where's the bullet holes? Where, if it was a flashbang, where's the burn marks?
You're assuming
even a firecracker
you're buying into
would
the
leave
magic
a white
trick,
mark.
sir. You're buying into the magic trick. There was no gun. These are all things that have, more tales have been, no evidence has been shown to even exhibit one portion of these tales.
Yeah, I honestly think that they haven't released they are not going to release the interviews with I think it
No, of course
was
not, dude.
I know that the Gooch did 2 interviews, and then
Oh, the Gooch.
what was it? Detective Meowry did one, and somebody
No,
did
the
the other.
Meowry.
And
All
so
right.
that
These are vital. These are vital interviews.
well, wouldn't you think that it would be important that don't you know that most interview rooms already have their own cameras, as well as you have Molly McMichael with 16 different body cams just being arrested for a DUI. And here you have an unaliving investigation of 4 people, and they don't have one single video of the entire interview. Are you out of your freaking mind? And then the thing that stands out the most, I forgot. What was it? The
Schindler's List.
Thank you. I think it was in Schindler's List too. I get the 2 confused. Schindler's List, The Purge.
Oh, Schindler's List 2, The Final Solution?
The Purge. The Schindler's List, The Purge. You got it all wrong. No, what was it? The oven, where they kept the alternate
Oh, of course. Dude, you're talking about Hitler,
DNAs.
Schindler's List in the oven, huh?
Conveniently, the DNA went into an incubator that wasn't at the right temperature. So instead of trying to recover it, they just throw it away. And so it's gone forever now. All of the questions we had, who was the alt suspects, can no longer be pursued from here to perpetuity because the oven malfunctioned.
Well, from my understanding, they lost Koberger's DNA in that too, which would have been important for them to actually prosecute the case.
Right. So, it's like, you just have to take our word for it once again that it had nothing to do with the case.
Say, we had his DNA in a fridge. It went bad. We'll just tell you about it now, though. You see what I'm saying?
It's unreal, dude. A forensic dryer. Yeah, I was going to call it a dehumidifier or whatever. But, or dehydrator. Wow, bro. Yeah, there's just, it all adds up to one big, fat, juicy lie. And for them to go around strutting, and I've followed a lot of big cases throughout the years since before court TV was even a glimmer in its daddy's eye. You had a lot of other stuff. Monday, when I was a kid, you had 3 channels when we were kids. So the Bundy thing was always on the news. We followed that. My first memory is of Richard Nixon leaving the White House. And I was sitting there in our living room floor. My mom's like, Kane, remember this. This is history right here. And he's flying away in the Marine One chopper. So I didn't know anything about Watergate or anything, but of course at that time. But what else did you have down the road? What's another big one that there was? I'm trying. Other than OJ, I guess with OJ, even with that, you had some of the best attorneys in the country. Got the guy, and they didn't sit there and go to Good Morning America and the Today Show and stroke their egos. They just did their job and got out. And you certainly, when the prosecution, you better watch it, Meg. You're on thin ice. David Boyd, welcome in, sir. See, you certainly have never seen the prosecution in a winning case for something like this go on 18 different interview tours, and the police officers try to mansplain or mamsplain their activity. As Twiz called that mamsplaining last night. I thought it was very, but you don't see them going on a tour. The prosecution just goes on to the next case. Are you still there, JJ? We got a JJ down. JJ down. JJ. Pittsburgh. Here he is. But Jen, are you coming up tonight? Are you gonna say anything? We've been trying to get to there and talk. There he is. JJ, you with us?
Yeah, I somehow I got thrown. Did you throw me out? Are you cloning me right now?
I threw a couple Reese's Pieces your way, actually, Mr. I don't know what you're referring to.
Is Jen going to join? I don't know. I got kicked out there for a minute. Is Jen going to join us?
I don't know if she's been in and out of chat. I put the link a couple times for her.
What's Twiz doing? Twiz, come on down, Twiz.
Twiz only appears on other shows. He's my best friend, but he only appears on other
offended.
shows.
I've noticed that. I'm offended.
It's a conspiracy.
So here's the deal. This what we're looking at right now. This is my opinion. This is all suppositional, pointed out as such. But we're currently under the we're led to believe by the state of Idaho and other Muppets up there that they're actually doing an investigation on leaks in this case, which they're not fucking doing. They're not Farfig-Nugan doing that. We're also led to believe by the Muppets in Idaho that they're going to review matters to which maybe redact and release some of the previously sealed things. That's never going to happen. That's what we're seeing right now with this massive production of a bunch of bullshit. And then they're going to be like, oh, well, we were being transparent.
Yeah, they try to rewrite history all the time. Sorry, I got Reese's Pieces.
I'm going to need you to cease and desist on the Reese's Pieces eating there for a second, sir, and let me know your thoughts on these matters. What do you think? Do you think they're going to release anything, or am I just too much of a curmudgeon?
You're a little bit of a curmudgeon. I think that there's a chance.
I'm a lot of bit of a curmudgeon. My logo is a grouchy dude in a trash can. What are you talking about, sir?
I think there's still a chance that he could file for the appeal, whether or not it goes through.
Yeah, dude. But what indicates? Like, let's say that any of this shit. Let's just assume for a second that witness protection Larry is wrong, right? And
I would never assume
not
that.
A hoax.
Not in a million years.
It's not a hoax. And I agree. He's got time to file appeals and whatnot. And I agree that they've done a great job at putting up a defense and everything. But, at the end of the day, dude, do you really think that there's going to be more court cases or court hearings in this matter? I don't see it. I just don't see it.
If I had my way. But that doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, at BK, you can have it your way.
Dude, BK, it's honestly, I don't know if they stepped up their game or if they just always had me with their addictive chemicals they put in the food. But I'm gonna go with
addictive chemicals.
I got the double rodeo cheeseburger the other day. Order of value fries and a Oreo chip milkshake, and it's a $4 milkshake. But damn, if that wasn't, it outdid all the other. It outdid Five Guys. It outdid Potbelly. It outdid Steak. Well, Steak and Shake is a little thinner, which I like a sippy. You kind of had to mix the BK shake around to get it sippy. Otherwise, you had to use a spoon. That's like eating ice cream.
Well, I commend you on your efforts, sir, and your multi-diversity milkshake tastes. I myself go to a local creamery here nearby, and I tend to do that for actual milkshakes as opposed to whatever the godforsaken ingredients the folks at Burger King. First of all, I'm not sure who appointed them king of anything. Burger King puts in their shit, but they're owned by the same folks that brought us airmail. The same capital group investment group out of Dallas, Texas, that owns the airmail publication started by old Skittles Bob Evans, buddy Graydon Carter, that employs Howard Bloom in propagating all of the propaganda in this nonsense tale of the murders of the Idaho Force. He's the point man that everyone repeats is the old Bloom stuff there. The folks that own Bloom's airmail or Graydon Carter's airmail, they own Burger King. So, those are brought to you by the same folks. There's a lot of BKs here.
What cord is Twiz telling me to fix? I don't have a cord. I don't know what he's talking about. Twiz is tripping. I don't want to know. Woke up. I I don't know what it is. Just the flavor and the overall satisfaction for $9 is well worth it. And I've been craving those wheat flavors in the wee hours of the morning.
Let me ask you this, sir. Is $9 worth taking 9 minutes off of your life?
Oh, yeah.
$9 in very momentary satiation of whatever weird flavorings and you need to dump in your mouth hole there. Is it really worth it? Because I'm telling you, that's got to be wrecking your insides.
Well, it's not a daily thing, but I was thinking on the way as pulling away that I could literally live on BK if I had to. That would be my go-to. Now, I've had Jack in the Box, and I do like the variety and the taste of Jack in the Box. And I did live on Yumbo. I call them Yumbo Yaks because that's how the Spanish girls would say, "You want a Yumbo Yak?" At Jack in the Box. My dog and I lived on Yumbo Yaks for at least a year. There, it was pretty tough times there in the neighborhood.
There are 2 restaurants of a fast food variety that I will indeed willfully, in a wonton manner, eat a burger at, or other products, because they generally don't have a bunch of bullshit in there, and that is In-N-Out Burger, big fan, and Whataburger.
Whataburger burgers, I'm not a fan of, but love their shakes. They had an extra large shake at Whataburger, vanilla shake for $1.75. And I'm like, that's the best deal going. But they got rid of all the Whataburgers in Tampa.
Have you ever had their Dr. Pepper milkshake?
I've heard about this Dr. Pepper milkshake, and I keep wanting to try one desperately.
Yeah, they are indeed delicious. In fact, my son and I were recently reminiscing about some delicious milkshakes that we've had as we were enjoying a milkshake recently, and that was both on near the top of our lists as far as especially on a fast food milkshake, right? Dr. Pepper milkshakes. But no, I'm not big into the burgers at Whataburger. I get, because they do 24/7 breakfasts.
I didn't know that.
Lucy Morningstar there. Yep. She's talk about sus. No, dude, they do very delicious jalapeno biscuit with some pepper jack cheese.
Oh my God. You just reminded me.
You can get some chicken on there, dude.
Dude, I have a chicken jalapeno popper waiting for me at the mechanic's house right now. I might have to cut this show short. If Twiz hadn't brought up a cherry milkshake, I would be out the door. There was a case we were following on Lana's channel, and my whole takeaway from the case was they went out for huckleberry milkshakes. And I'm like, that's the best damn sounding milkshake I ever heard of.
Yeah, it's not. I've had huckleberry. Dude, huckleberry is this weird thing that's up there in that region of the country, Montana and Idaho.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's popular flavor, dude.
Overrated, you'd say?
Way overrated, dude.
That's interesting to hear.
I was a Montanian for 3 years. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Well, I figured you were a spook. I wasn't going to accuse you of anything.
I wasn't a spook. I was stationed in Great Falls, Montana, where I may or may not have eaten human meat burgers at local Hardee's.
Hardee's isn't bad burgers. Well, actually, they're Carl's Jr. out there, aren't they? Or do they have Hardee's in Montana?
One would think they're Carl's Jr., but a couple of my dudes who were from California, my roommates there at the time, and a couple of my fellow garbage can dudes, they were from California, and they were very butthurt that was a Hardee's there, not a Carl's Jr., because there is a difference.
Yeah, Carl's Jr. has a better menu.
Way better menu, dude. Way better menu. And I thought everything west of the Mississippi was Carl's Jr. Boy, was I wrong.
I don't know if you remember me talking about Del Taco that they had in San Diego. And
fucking love Del Taco.
Well, my dog and I's Friday nights were go to get Del Taco, and my dog's name was Aki. So we had Akko Tacos, and he would go nuts for Akko Tacos. And then I would pull up to the local Circle K, and they had those baseball bat collectible or baseball helmet collectible things you could put your ice cream in. And so he would wait in the car like he was driving, and I'd always come out and people were just laughing at him because it looked like this big giant dog was driving a 1976 Chevy Nova. And I'd come out with my ice cream.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Those were good times. We lived on Jack
Dude,
in the Box, Del Taco, and ice cream from AM PM.
Yeah, you got to give him some cream treats. I always get Abner Boy some cream treats.
No, I did give him Nutter Butters. He loved Nutter Butters. After a while,
Oh, dude.
I broke down, and then his teeth started getting bad, so I had to start brushing his teeth and stuff.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't like brush. They give you a meat flavored
sugar probably does the same thing to doggo teeth, right? As it does human teeth, right? As far as degrading it, right?
Obviously, yeah. Well, that's up till the Middle Ages when sugar became popular. People had very strong teeth all through their life. They died with a full set.
Are you giving me a medieval times dental fucking conversation, dude? Where's your source on that, sir?
Dental records.
They're going to tell me Monty Python.
It's only a flesh wound.
Dude, here's my experience with Del Taco. So I was on about a 12-day adventure and invasions across the West Coasts. This would have been circa 2009-ish or so, probably, with my fellow garbage can dudes in an RV. But we kept posting up shop every time we came in through Western Arizona and Lake Havasu, and largely to and from Vegas.
Well, I've heard stories about Lake Havasu.
Oh, dude, Lake Havasu's a good time, man. But we posted up shop in our RV right next to the London Bridge in the parking lot of Del Taco, dude, and we just would feast on Del Taco for a couple days.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, dude. In-N-Out Burger was next door. Del Taco, dude. We didn't have to go very far.
I'm probably one of the few people that have actually eaten an In-N-Out Burger in Florida. My girlfriend flew out to Colorado and brought me a couple double doubles from In-N-Out Burger.
Stop.
But unfortunately, they didn't really survive the flight too well. They weren't as tasty as they are fresh off the
Well, you'll have that.
My
first stop every time I land west of the Mississippi, and now even in Texas because they're down there. I go do
Texas.
some In-N-Out burgers.
That's the last time I had out In-N-Out when I went to Austin.
Well, they opened up 9 In-N-Out burgers in 1 year in 2018 and 2019 in San Antonio, which it's a big city. That's fair enough, but a year later, 4 of them had closed because that's how much those folks love Whataburger down there.
Well, they're allegedly their In-N-Out is going east of the Mississippi, and we're going to get some In-N-Outs here now. Finally, that'll be
they're setting up a distribution center in Tennessee.
That'll be big.
Well, and that's the reason why they haven't done it yet, because they're one of the few restaurants that insist on serving the same ingredients at all their locations.
Well, I'm pretty sure that this will outdo the Idaho4 case. This will finally solve it. Once In-N-Out Burger has made it into our area, they'll finally get a resolution. That's my prediction. All will make sense.
I don't know how those two things are relevant, but I'll just.
You got to make
nod
the
my head and say,
connection,
sure.
JJ. You have to see the totality of the Stadia de Olympica.
Oh, is this like those paintings from the malls in the '90s where you got to stare at it and you see a sailboat? I see the schooner, sir. I see the schooner.
See Waldo?
I see
Do you
your
see
game.
him? He's in
see it
there.
now.
Well, it's been good talking to you, sir. I'm going to have to cut it short to go get my car before everybody goes to bed over there. And
What kind of bush league operation is this?
Well, I'm going to do a not
Virgin.
Kane B late night. If you want to stay up late and join me for that, I'll have a lot more Idaho4 takes, diabetic news, and also news from around the world that I can't play.
How
here
dare
on the
you?
Perch.
I'm offended.
But you can get to the replay. Oh wait, no, I delete the video, so now you can't. So yeah,
That's cool. It's good purging with you, sir. Good purging, fellow purgers. And if you're going to do some not purging later, I may join you for that as well.
Okay, I'll try to wrap this up, go get the car, and then get right back on it. So.
Well, I got some work to do anyway. But if you're gonna, I feel like you come on at the 1 o'clock hour. That's the bewitching hour for not Kane Bees.
It usually is, but
because I like to I'm going to bed usually. I like to pop in there and declare that I've solved the Idaho4 murders. I don't know if you've seen that. It's my thing I do there. It was Colonel Mustard in the library with a knife sheath.
Well said, sir. We'll say goodnight, Jen. Let's see if she does it. Where are you, Jen? Come on. All right, I'm rage quitting, so you have to watch my commercial. Love you guys. Thank you for coming. Have a great night, and welcome in. Somebody popped in. Parker Curry. Welcome in. Sorry we're cutting it short here. That will be better for me. All right. Well, we'll see you later then, Jen. Say goodnight, Jen. Talk to you later.